Welcome back. After dropping a contest to Montana on Thursday, the North Dakota women's basketball team picked up their first Big Sky win of this young conference season this past Saturday with a 79-70 victory over Montana State. For more on last week's games and the week ahead, here's Alex Heinert in Grand Forks with head coach Travis Brewster.
Thanks, Kelly. Travis Brewster. Let's talk some hoops today. Your team rolling right into Big Sky play. First home weekend of the season against Montana and Montana State. Hadn't lost in this building for almost a calendar year, but Montana got the best of you on Thursday.
Yeah, you know, I thought they did some, they just did toughness things, right? They capitalized when we didn't box out. They made some tough shots, you know, and that's a team that hadn't won on the road in 20 games, so they were very, very hungry for a road win. The other part about it is we weren't really in the game flow. You know, the ball wasn't moving very well at times. You could see defensively there's a lot of lack of communication, so we had a lot of work to do there before the next game. Yeah,
defensive effort, I mean, overall was much better for your team. That had kind of been the issue the last couple of games. Just struggling trying to get the ball in the back, or a ball through the hoop in this contest.
Yeah, ball in the hoop. Well, you got to keep the team off the glass, right? You know, those offensive boards we gave up were crucial, you know, and I think they scored, if I do recall, 12 points for sure that I can remember off the top of my head off of offensive boards, and you just can't do that, right? And the big thing too is effort's there, but you have to be able to pay attention to the other stuff too.
Yeah, so a tough loss on Thursday. You talked at the fan luncheon on Friday here in Grand Forks and just said, you know, the next time we speak, things are going to be better. Then we're going to get things turned around and rolling. It only took a day, and you had a much better performance on Saturday, a complete difference between that game against the Grizz and what we saw against Montana State.
Yeah, you know, just one of those things of didn't sleep real well that night, and I made a decision to change our offense, what we were running totally. I made a couple of defensive changes and made lineup changes. And those are tough things to do at this time, juncture of the year, obviously, but I felt it was something we needed to address, and it worked out for us this time, you know. So I look at it as I have to make sure that I'm doing a good job as well and put our team in the best positions possible so they can have success.
Yeah, well, those adjustments paid off right away against the team you shared the regular season title with in the conference last year. You're up 17 at the half. They would come out and make a little push at the start of the third. You called the timeout early in that quarter. What was the conversation like when they had made that run to start the third?
I don't know if it's all cleared for TV, but no, it was pretty basic. You know, we weren't matched up in our defensive assignments, kind of like we were playing against Montana. You know, we were very complacent looking at the score instead of understanding, hey, it's not about protecting the lead, it's about extending the lead, and we had to sit down and say, hey, this is how we're going to play, and this is what we need to do. And, you know, it worked out. You know, they still made a run at us, and, you know, they're a good ball club.
Yeah, well, there's a reason why, again, they had such a great record last year. They did make it close in the end, but you pulled out the 9-point victory. As usual, big performances from Fallon Freege and Lexi Claybo leading the way, a couple of 20-point performances from those two. Jill Morton, though, coming up with 15 big points. She's been a good scorer for you at times this season. That was kind of her first breakout game, though, since the non-conference. How big was her contribution in this one?
Well, we're looking for some more perimeter scoring. So, you know, with Jill being able to do that, we would love for her to be able to get, you know, 10 to 15 a night. That would be any time that we play. And you know, any of our guards, you know, you look at Melissa Daly even, and we want more perimeter scoring because right now, Fallon and Lexi are doing a good job on the inside, but everybody's gearing their defense to stop them, and, you know, that should free up the outside. And when the outside's free, now you have to knock down your shots and make good quality plays.
Yeah. How big was that win for this team, just to gain a little confidence at this point in the season?
Well, you know, it was one of those things that we had to get ourselves going. You know, we probably felt the same we did after we played Baylor, you know, really down on ourselves and just didn't know if we could get things going. And you got to stay true to the process. And I know everybody thinks that's coach speak, but it really isn't, because basketball season is a long season. You know, and it covers 2 semesters. You know, it's snow starting to melt finally when, you know, hopefully when we get done with it all.
Hopefully, that's the hope, right?
You know, and so you look at that, and there is a process to it. And one of the things with this team is there's enough talent on the team. We got to play with a little bit more grit, and that's what we're trying to establish ourselves, is just being a little bit more gritty in our process.
Yeah, chance to display that grit coming up this week against 2 very different teams in Idaho State and Weber State, 2 successful teams. Talk about just the diversity of matchup between the Bengals to the Wildcats this weekend.
Well, you look at Idaho State, tough place to play. Seton Sobolewski does a good job there. Usually we play them as the first team to 43 and the most rebounds that wins that particular ball game. Then you go out to Weber, who's very high octane and really wants to get up and down the floor and turn you over. So you have to have ball control in that particular game. So now you come off a game where you know, a little bit slower pace, and then you go out to Weber, it's a little bit cranked up. So it's contrasting styles, but it'll be a good challenge.
Yeah, a couple of good tests coming up for UND Women's Hoops Thursday and Saturday. Coach, best of luck. Safe travels. You want to send it back to the studio?
Yeah, you know, Kelly, back to you.
Well, thank you, Coach Brewster. That was excellent. All right, well, tip-off tomorrow from Pocatello, Idaho is set for 8 p.m. Central. Saturday's game at Weber State starts at 3 Central, and you can catch both of those on Pluto TV. There's a link available on UNDsports.com. Well, coming up after the break, get to know our newest addition to the Midco SN team, reporter and producer Elena Lanson. She'll join me in studio next on Midco Sports Tonight.